What up, people? It is your girl, Karina Dean, and I am finally on tonight to bring you a live casting about the up-and-coming Venus RX. Venus is going retrograde into the sign of Scorpio. This is going to be a bit of a big deal. There's a few reasons why. I'll say that there's about 3 reasons why. The first reason is that Venus doesn't go retrograde very often. You'll find Venus retrograde once every year and a half to 2 years. Not like Mercury that goes retrograde about 3 times in a year. The second reason that makes this really profound is that Venus is going retrograde in the sign of Scorpio, which is not her favorite place to be. Scorpio is where Venus is in her detriment. So Venus is naturally in love with being in her rulership zodiac signs of Libra and Taurus. And now that Venus is going to be in Scorpio, it's actually a time in which she will have to find comfort in all of the principles that Scorpio represents, which isn't very comfortable at all for the planet Venus. And the third is that Jupiter is exiting Scorpio during this time. Jupiter has been transiting the sign of Scorpio. Hi, Taisha. Jupiter has been transiting the sign of Scorpio, bringing blessings and fortune to all those who are scorpionic in their moon, sun, or rising signs. And as Jupiter leaves Scorpio, Venus goes retrograde. And so we're going to talk about tonight in this late night broadcast, what is going to be the consensus about this Venus retrograde. Now, this is a very near and dear transit to me and I'm going to tell you that it's important that you guys understand that it is near and dear to me, because I do have some biased opinions about Venus retrograde due to my personal take on it. You see, I'm born with a Venus retrograde, and I understand this energy, especially because I do understand it when it comes to Venus being in detriment. So Venus does not like to be in Scorpio, and Venus doesn't like to be in Aries either. And I was born with Venus retrograde in Aries. So I understand this kind of energy, especially when she's uncomfortable in the zodiac sign placed in. So it's a very passionate subject for me, honestly. And even though it's very passionate, it's not one of my favorite subjects to talk about, because Venus is truly a sign that wants to indulge and experience love and harmony. And when Venus goes retrograde, you can get the most exquisite experience of that, or you can get the complete opposite. So let's talk about the signs that are going to be highly affected by this Venus retrograde. Scorpio is a fixed sign, therefore, that if you have any planets in fixed signs, your planets will be either in square or opposition to this Venus retrograde. Most especially if you have Venus in any of the fixed signs, which are Taurus, Aquarius, Scorpio, and Leo. So for those who have Venus or any other planets in the fixed signs, this will be a time in which you will be dealing with a challenge from Venus retrograde. You will have to experience what it means to reevaluate your relationships, and the outcomes may not be as harmonious as you desire. When Venus is in Scorpio, Venus is looking for raw truth. Venus values everything that has to do with seeing the intentions underneath the true means of anyone's actions. And because Scorpio is a sign of sexuality and sex, and actually rules over the genital part of the body, we will be dealing with the sexual intimacy aspects of relationships. We could see anything from getting cheated on, to changes in sexual desires, changes in sexual partnerships, or even orientation. Venus retrograde wants us to truly make sure that the relationships that you're in are valuable and worthy, and therefore the lessons can very much so be kind of difficult to get through. You may be faced with a very harsh realization, a harsh truth about your relationships. Now, I don't mean to come off real dark at first, but you know what? Sometimes it's best to get hit with the punch, and then you can deal with all the jabs that have happen after. And so if you are a fixed sign, it will be important to understand that this is a time in which you will be challenged. But challenge brings forth diamonds, and if you make it through this Venus retrograde, your partnership will be stronger than ever. If you guys are not finding conflict to be in the areas of sexuality and intimacy, then it might just be purely on money. Venus is also rulership of money, all the materials that we need and the money that we need to buy to gain these things. So you may be experiencing conflicts and situations that might actually have to do about finances. Venus is also rulership over the addiction of sugar, and Venus can truly be a sign that looks at how it is that we take care of our bodies when it comes to our need for sugar. Did you know that there are more reasons in which sugar is just as addicting as some of the most highly addicting drugs out there? I was just reading about this the other day, and truly, sugar is right up there with cocaine, guys. But it's legal. And you know what? This Venus retrograde might have some Venusian types, which means that maybe you have a moon, sun, or rising in the signs of Libra and Taurus. You may be experiencing your relationship with sugar or your indulgences. You may be facing something that has to do with where it is that you are going a little too far. And the raw truth will bring you to that very aspect. So I want you guys to understand that my approach to astrology is all based off of your own design and creation. And well, you might feel that everything that I've said so far isn't. But I'm going to now transition you, because Scorpio is all about the transition. So if you choose to be a canvas with the galaxy, then it may play out in ways that you don't have control over. Hi, Taryn, welcome. But if you choose to be a creator and designer of your life, then this Venus retrograde is one of the most powerful times for you. So I'm glad that you stuck around through all of the darkness that I presented at first, because now I'm going to give you the jabs. The jabs are all about how it is that you can utilize Venus retrograde for your benefit. Starting with your relationships. In your relationships, I'm giving you the assignment to actually have a conversation. Actually write down 10 questions that you have always wanted to ask your partnerships. Go ahead and have it over a drink, maybe a nice cup of coffee or tea, or you can do something a little bit stronger than that. Go ahead and allow each other to ask the questions and make it a safe place for you guys to experience the answers in a way in which you can be open-minded and be able to handle whatever truths come out. In this assignment, you are controlling the Venus aspect by allowing truth to come out in a safe and open environment. Prepare yourself for what it is that you are about to hear from your partnerships, and then address it in a way in which you can truly come to harmony about it. It may not always be something that ends in a breakup, but it might be an insightful time for you guys to see how it is that you can stretch your partnerships and give each other what you need. voicing what you need and giving the other what you need, making it a win-win situation. Scorpio is the sign of sharing our investments. Share yourselves with your partnerships during this Venus retrograde and watch your partnerships become something exquisite to be in. And you'll truly value the depths that you can go together, the intimacy that you can share with one another. If you take on this challenge, I promise you, I guarantee you that you will have one of the most eye-opening experiences, because now you are walking in the path of being the designer of your life rather than falling to the tendencies of the transiting planets. Everything about the galaxy is here to support you on your journey, to support you as a ultimate creator. So create your relationships as you desire, utilizing Venus retrograde as a time for you to revise your relationships on your own terms. Okay, so let's talk about money. Finances is often the strain in relationships and just the strain in general. Venus retrograde is going to be a time in which you are in need of evaluating what kind of pay rate are you getting, either from your job, or if you are an entrepreneur, business person, maybe the products that you're putting out there. It will be a time in which you have the opportunity to evaluate, are you getting paid what you are worth? This could also be a time in which you consider going into an investment with a partner, or investing your money in something that you believe in and understanding that the return will not be immediate, but could grow and be very substantial way down the line. This is a time in which you want to look at money in a smart way. Besides just looking at it as a way in which you are indulging in your own indulgences. That's Venus and her lovely rulers of Libra and Taurus. But when Venus is in Scorpio, we're looking beyond our indulgences and we're looking to the intentions of our indulgences. So look at what it is that compels you to want to do something like online shopping or go out and buy that dope outfit. There's absolutely nothing wrong with spending money wisely on the things that you highly value. But if it is becoming something that is obsessive or addictive, then it might be a time for you to evaluate how you are utilizing your finances and be able to make significant changes. Scorpio is a sign of transformation, and with Venus in Scorpio, it's a chance to transform how your finances are working for you. And lastly, we're going to talk about sugar addiction. So I spoke about earlier how sugar is the principal rulership under Venus and her zodiac rulerships of Taurus and Libra. Venus retrograde is a time in which we might be looking at people who are Venusian types who may be experiencing actual sugar addiction. It's a real thing. And Venus is, when she's in retrograde, we're looking at how it is that we might be obsessed with our own addictions, specifically the things that give us pleasure, the things that we indulge in. Venus is a planet of indulgences. And this is a time in which we want to take a look and see what we can find. Maybe finding that balance is the key. We need to be able to have fun with our lives, but where is it that it has become too much in excess? Or maybe you're not having enough fun. Maybe you're on the completely other polar opposite and you're not having enough fun at all. So this might be a time in which you can experience what it is to go out and enjoy your dessert. Or you're on the other half and you're gonna pass on dessert and just, allow yourself to start looking at how it is that you relate to your food indulgences. So this Venus retrograde is essential because it does not happen as often as Mercury does. So when Venus goes retrograde, it is a little uncomfortable. But there is something really, really dope about a Venus retrograde, and it's because Venus is a sign of appreciating art and design and creativity. So here is the best part of this talk, and it's especially for you, those who were able to stick around till the end. When Venus is in retrograde, it's a chance for you to come back to your creative side. It's a chance for you to appreciate art and how it is that it ignites the senses. Many different planets and zodiac signs can signify the appreciation of art. Like, for instance, Pisces and Neptune. They are connected to like our healing and our emotional output of art. Venus is actually exalted in Pisces. What Venus and Libra and Taurus do is that they appreciate art, which means that they understand the importance of art and they appreciate in the financial term as appraisal. They can bring up the art. They can enhance art. They can edit and make it better. They can design it and make it amazing, make it better than what the initial concept was, right? So Venus is a sign of being a designer of your new idea and making it something even better than it was before. Making it something that would be of high quality, that people would spend a pretty good penny for as well. Because again, Venus is all about finances. But as you are able to navigate through this Venus retrograde, if you are an artist, this is a chance in which you can come back home, come back to the things that you love to do about your art, and be able to find ways in which you can redesign what it is that you choose to redesign in your art. Now, this speaks of painters, sculptors, fashion designers, singers, actors, you name it, whatever it is that is your creative output. This is a chance for you to be able to go inside and find what it is that makes you truly unique in how it is that you express yourself. And honing in on this can give you substantial reward at the end of the transit. You might find yourself having other people who want to sponsor you, who would want to invest in you. Remember, Scorpio is the sign of investments. So Venus retrograde is a beautiful chance for artists to come back home and to zero in on their craft. But let's say you're not really an artist, right? Everyone truly is. That's really the point that I'm trying to make here. And it is a chance for you to indulge in your artist side as well. Maybe you want to take a class. Maybe you want to just do something more creative on the job or do something beautiful in your home. I actually am actually Venusian myself. I'm Sun in Taurus, Libra rising, and one of my new things that I love is interior design. Like, I can just scroll through Instagram through all of the interior design profiles and look at all of the pictures, and I just have this very new interest towards it. So whatever it is that you love, indulge in the artistic side of it at this time and actually see how it is that you can apply it to what is going on in your world. So for instance, what I was saying with the interior design that I'm super obsessed with right now is I really want to get back to taking care of my apartment and putting things in places where I would love to enhance the beauty of the apartment. So Venus retrograde is a chance for you to enhance beauty. As I was saying before, appreciate, appraisal. It's a chance to uplift everything and make everything around you beautiful. And if you are an artist, this is a chance for you to come home to your craft. So I thank you guys for tuning in. It is late night. These are my late night talks because I am a new mom and this is my time that I can do this. So I really enjoy being able to just speak freely about astrology. It is a love of mine to be able to do that. And I thank you for tuning in. This live broadcast will stay live on my profile, and for anybody who's listening into the replay, hello Diamond. For anyone who is, I hope you're doing well. Anybody who's listening into the replay, Venus retrograde will be happening in October. So this is a chance for you to prepare, which is also awesome about astrology, is that you can see what's coming and prepare for how you want to utilize it. Everything that I do with astrology and what makes me a little bit different is that I'm all about the practical application of it to your life. I'm not here to give you some hokey pokey, spooky little thing about, psychic attacks. I'm not here to do anything like that. I'm here to bring you the practical side of astrology and help you grow and enhance your life, as that's what I'm trying to do with mine. So I hope that you guys will enjoy your Venus retrograde, and I will be posting a video of what it is like to be born with a natal Venus retrograde. That's your girl, me right here, and I have some personal stories on what it's like to have Venus in retrograde. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a blessed night, and I hope that you'll enjoy your Venus retrograde transit. Peace and love.